This is Theoretical Thrills, the podcast where three hosts pitch original theoretical rides and attractions based on things they don't own. A special guest judge awards bronze, silver, or gold based on three separate categories: most creative, most practical, and guest's favorite. With bragging rights on the line, the hosts will try to pick each other's ideas apart through gentle ribbing. So sit back, relax, and stand clear of the moving doors as we present Theoretical Thrills.
Theoretical Thrills, the theory of the thrill.
Oh boy!
In 3, 2...
Fun, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Theoretical Thrills. I'm Oliver.
I'm Brad.
I'm Spencer.
And we're joined by our guest today, Alex. Alex, how you doing?
I am doing great. How are y'all doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
You know.
Yeah. You're here for a very special week because this week you're here with us for the Goofy Movie Week. Now, Alex, what is your background with the Goofy movie?
Okay, so my background with the Goofy movie is I'm a huge Disney fan, just first and foremost. Disney has always been something that I absolutely loved. I would rewind and watch over and over and over again The Lion King as a kid. I would just sit in front of the VCR and just like do that over and over and over again. So Disney has always been part of my life. With the Goofy movie specifically, actually, it's interesting. It's not one of the ones I had on VHS as a kid. I would always like rent that one from like the library or something like that. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be until later in life where I would be a much larger fan of a Goofy movie. And over the years, it's gotten more and more special to me. I actually went and saw it in theaters not too long ago when they reshowed it at the El Capitan Theater in Los Angeles.
Awesome.
So I absolutely just adored it, and it was one of the best movie experiences of my life. So
you're going to be calling it tight today. You're going to be making sure that we stay on course on this.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Now, what is your background with theme parks and parks in general?
Theme parks and I have an interesting relationship. Number one, I have a fear of heights. So I was never very keen on attempting a roller coaster.
I'm right there with you, bud.
It wasn't until I think middle school when I got invited to go with a friend of mine to Six Flags for the first time, and took it slow. I took it slow.
Right,
the smaller roller coasters,
and then you just kept going up from there. No,
yeah. Actually, it was Six Flags over Georgia, and I did the Dahlonega Gold Mine, which is a nice small roller coaster.
It's a fun ride.
I did that one many times as a kid. That first visit. It wouldn't be until later visit to Six Flags when I actually did Goliath for the first time.
Nice.
And loved it. It was fun. Keeping my eyes shut the whole time as I'm going up the initial drop. But then there was another theme park that I loved. I went to with my childhood best friend in South Georgia called Wild Adventures Theme Park.
Wild Adventures!
Yes. I absolutely loved Wild Adventures. It was so much fun. I only went there once, but I have very fond memories of that.
Awesome. So we're going to be
Swingin' Safari, which is the Music Express that also goes backwards and swings.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So with all that in mind, we're going to push forward and we're going to go to today's pitches. Now, you're going to be judging on three categories. Those three categories are...
Three categories are practicality, which is something that feels like it would work at a theme park, something that may be an idea that is an attraction that's already been done, or something that can feasibly be done anytime soon. Creativity, which is something that is creative, for lack of a better word, something that you find to be fun and creative and unique. And guest favorite, which, Alex, those are whatever rides or attractions tickle your funny bone, make you laugh, make you cry with joy, whatever it is. Those are just the ones that you would love to see if we did a Goofy movie theme park.
Spencer, your definitions get better each week.
Every time. It's just, they get
creativity
more
is,
you know.
I think every week I've been saying it's just creativity.
You've been leaning more and more into becoming a character out of a delicatessen, and I really appreciate it. I want you to know that.
I'll do it every week just for you, Oliver.
Thank you. Thanks, bud.
No
problem. With that in mind, we went ahead and used the wheel to decide who's going to be pitching in what order. And Brad, what is the pitch order this week?
The order this week is Oliver first, myself second, and Spencer, you're coming in last.
All right.
Oh, also you're going third.
Yeah.
I got the joke, and I didn't think I got it already.
This guy over here.
I didn't really think it was that interesting because
really
I heard it
like
before.
right to the funny bone. Get that man a hammer. He nailed it. So with that in mind, Alex, are you ready?
Oh, absolutely ready.
Then let's go ahead and start with my pitches. This week, I'm bringing you 3 attractions. And this week, I'm going a little bit back towards my roots and designing a dark ride. To me, this exciting whip-rousing ride is going to be Powerline. This will be during the experience of the final concert number, set to different glow-in-the-dark effects and built out to be sort of a mixture between rock and roller coaster and a different ride that's going to be in the dark that has more fun to it. So like a Space Mountain-y type of feel. So you're going to be whipping around a lot, but it's going to be to vignettes from that closing number. So we'll see the Leaning Tower of Cheesa. We'll see all that sort of stuff. We'll see little vignettes of those little moments, but also set to the Powerline moments that we know and love. So you're able to sing along. You're able to scream at the top of your lungs as you're going through it. It's really like a fun experience for everyone to get to do. At the end of it, it will dump you out into a dance party. There's nothing more important to Powerline than getting everyone dancing and having fun. So the idea would be that you would exit out the ride, and instead of exiting out through the gift shop, you would be exiting out through a steam-covered window. And as you come out, you'll enter into the crowd and to this dance party and into this moment of getting to see Powerline live. So you get to sing it through again. The best part being the fact that we have up on the monitors the actual lyrics so you don't feel foolish. But you could always just go off to the right and excuse yourself and leave. But the idea being that if we have this concert venue built into this, that we could have that fun interaction moment. So that's my ride, Powerline.
And my question is, how will you handle this post-COVID times?
Post-COVID times, I'm looking at UV refreshers. I'm looking at it's a thought. If we do want to do that sort of concert thing, we could always do what the Flaming Lips did with their concert with the bubbles. That seemed to have worked for them. But ideally, if they're back in a park and on a theme park ride, that means that we've solved the COVID thing by this point. Because unfortunately,
what about COVID 2.0?
Yeah, I know, right?
That exists.
I'm not going to let them plug that. That is the virus. That's not today's sponsor. COVID 2.0 is not the sponsor of today's episode. But I will say that if they are back into that crowds thing, I will keep that in mind. If we want to make bubbles to make people comfortable, they could absolutely do that.
All right.
Okay? So that is my ride, Powerline. Moving on to something that I actually really want to do. And this is something that I think would be really fun. One of the moments from the movie that kind of stuck out to me that seemed kind of like a throwaway conversation, but I think there's something there, is opening up a series of Winnebagos that have bowling alleys on the top. These private party bowling alleys are experiencing for my ride known as Pete's. Pete's is going to be what happens when you take Lucky Strike and Punch Bowl Social, smash them together and put them on top of these Winnebagos. They're above all the action. They're able to have a party of 8 people on each Winnebago with off to the sides and actual railings to keep them safe. But I want to bump up the idea of bowling to make it a little bit goofier. So something that really struck me about the company Punch Bowl Social is they were looking to try to find a way to augment the standard bowling game. By doing this, they partnered with companies that develop different video games, including Angry Birds. So basically the way it would work is as you would bowl, depending upon the pins that you would hit, that would decide how hard it would launch the bird. But the idea being that it wouldn't just be standard bowling. Now, we could go sort of the Jillian's route and make it so it's virtual bowling, but I don't want it to be that. I want it to be the physical experience of getting to bowl with your friends on this party area that you can reserve and rent time to time. We'll have enough of them set up so you're actually able to do it right. But the idea that we can add a secondary level to all the crowds underneath and use those Winnebagos to push people through a ride queue if we want it. So it's the idea of using our space a little bit smarter, but on top of that, building games into the actual bowling alley itself to augment that experience. A nice chance to sit close with your friends, reserve a little area, and you have a boarding time that allows you to do that.
So the bowling alley is on top of the Winnebago.
Yes.
And people are in the Winnebago below it?
No. So the Winnebago itself is a lifted platform. There's about 6 of them, a bank of 6 of those Winnebagos. You would take the stairs inside the Winnebago up to the second level.
So it's not really a real Winnebago.
No, it's a bowling alley. It's just made to look like one of the Winnebagos that Pete has.
Gotcha. I was kind of excited about this being an actual Winnebago.
No,
with a bowling alley
we would build
on
it out. Yeah, we would build it out to make it look like that. But the idea being that you would go through these different campers that would have theming set to the different characters from the movie, so you can actually decide which one you go to.
So party of 8. How many did you say? 6.
Take of 6 of them
for a bowling game.
Mm-hmm.
You are not getting a lot of people through this.
No, it's definitely a premium experience. It's definitely something that's more of reserving a table at the Blue Bayou. It's sort of that premium side experience that is reserved for people if they want to do it and have breakouts.
Yeah.
Like I loved having birthday parties at Disneyland, but there's a little difficulty with it, with getting your own group of friends larger than 12 people or larger than 6 people together. So having an area where you can have 8 people on it.
I like that you say larger than 6 people. You've only increased the party size by 2.
Look, it's still 2 people. Standard booth at a theme park is either going to be lengthwise, where you're sitting in that sort of seating, like, I don't know, a food court. Mm-hmm. But it's that, or it's going to be a smaller booth. And that's just for cleaning and hosting and sitting wise.
I think it's a good idea. I think
so do I. That's why
I think it's a lot of pricing. You're going to be charging quite a bit just to go bowling.
Yeah.
Well, he's not worried about the practicality of it all, so it doesn't matter.
It's actually quite practical.
Well, not if you think about it's easy to build. It's very easy to build. The problem I just find is that what's going to happen is you're going to pay to go to this theme park, to go to Goofyland, and I just don't foresee wanting to pay extra just to go bowling.
That's just you. Good thing that there's a full theme park filled with other people that might disagree.
Well, good thing you only have 48 slots.
Yeah, there you go. They're more than welcome to go ahead and enjoy my third attraction, which Alex, I've been blazing through these. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
It sounds like a very Pete thing to do, to charge more to go bowling. That's true. On brand. Yep. On brand. The building itself is shaped like the Winnebago?
Yeah. So the little terrace is basically a 2-story terrace that is shaped and themed to look like a Winnebago.
Oh, it's
and 6 of those.
Yes, like a trailer park, like the campground.
Okay.
So you would have the view of the serene Yosemite Valley that kind of look to it around it, but you're able to not Yosemite Valley, the location where they do the. Yeah, no, I painted myself into a corner. I feel it.
Yeah, Yosemite Valley.
Yeah, Yosemite Valley.
What else do you see?
That famous Goof Troop location of Yosemite Valley. No, you see the forest around it. So you're able to actually have that theming around it. It's sort of like a Toontown, but you have that scrim. So you have full immersion based on being higher up and able to see over all these people. Okay. And just like Pete, look down on them.
Yes.
So win a bowling.
No,
sure.
It's Pete's.
It's Pete's.
It's called Pete's.
So it's not bowling ego.
These aren't even good reworkings.
My third pitch is the Goof Flume. I have wanted to do a Flume log ride, but put my kind of spin on it. And in this situation, you will be loaded inside of the Goofy sedan as it's driven off of a waterfall. You're going to go through this exploring adventure that's going to be sort of like a Splash Mountain, but you're going to be inside the Goofy car with the windows. You can either roll them up or roll them down to decide how much water you get splashed with, which is a nice change for a water ride to be able to control how wet you end up getting. But the biggest thing is that you load in through it opens up off on both sides. You load in and then the top comes over to the sides. So the actual ride vehicle itself never submerges all the way. It only goes to about waist level. So you're not going to have a problem with flooding or with them going underwater. You're just going to be able to keep it on the surface and actually ride through. But the idea is that you're outrunning Bigfoot. I think it's something really fun to get to play with this sort of flume of getting the like the standard Goofy fall, but also getting to do that. Now, at the end, as you fall over the final cliff, you're going to be saved by Max pulling the perfect cast. dragging you back to the track where you'll end up splashing down safely and going through. So we'll get that photo of you all panicking, and then Max will save you on the final catch. So that's the Goof Flume. Very simple, very clean, very elegant pitches. Those are my 3. Any questions?
You say elegant.
Good thing elegant's not a category.
Very elegant pitches, the Goof.
Clean, simple, and elegant. None of which are the categories today. So great. Thank you.
Good. I'll take
Now,
questions.
this Bigfoot, is this like a person in costume, or is this animatronic?
Animatronic.
Okay.
Big old animatronic.
I wish it was a person in a costume.
How close is he getting to said car?
I would say closest we go is the distance between the final dinosaur on Jurassic Park and the ride vehicle.
Okay.
So not super close. We're not looking at like the Journey to the Center of the Earth at Tokyo, like at Disney Sea. We're talking. There's still some believable distance, but he's also a goofier version of Bigfoot. He's not as scary as like we have with the snow monster and the Matterhorn.
Right. Okay. Also, are you accounting for possible whiplash with Max saving people with the perfect cast?
No.
It's
just it's a simple splashdown system. Like
okay.
You're going to be coming down anyway into water. It's going to be slowing you down via that. You just add the sound effect of the string getting taut.
Okay.
It's more of a theming event rather than a physical dynamic of the ride.
A theming event. Like in general, a theme park.
No, an opportunity for storytelling.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, so those are my 3.
The BS answer.
So
Thank
feel free
you,
to
Oliver.
lock those away in your brain grapes, because now we're going to move on to Brad's. Now,
All right.
fair warning, Brad is probably just going to not have so much elegance to his, but that's fine.
Dueling Dragons.
Oh, no. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people.
I hate this already.
The Goofy movie was a pivotal movie of mine growing up. Had it on VHS, and I had it just led me there's just feelings that still resonate today. That after watching that movie, that still resonate today, and after watching it again in preparation for this episode, now an adult, now a dad, I think I can just firmly say that movie sucks. It's terrible.
Wow,
it's
Brad
a terrible
coming
movie.
out swinging, just shooting himself right in the foot is the number ride.
It is. Max goes through the entire thing. He's a spoiled brat who doesn't learn a lesson. He suffers no punishment as a character, character development wise. Terrible. Goofy is the one who has to sacrifice everything, and in the end wins nothing. He gets nothing out of it. He gets his son's love, but that's not even true. His son's with the girl.
You would think as a dad he would be more connected to the piece, but no, this
Quite
man
the
is
opposite.
Max is a terrible son. He is terrible to his father. He's not even old enough to drive, and he's a pain in the ass. So let's go ahead and talk about the rides. Now, the reason I said all that blurb is because you're judging my rides. You're not judging how I feel about the movie. I'm just letting the people know how I feel about the movie.
Well, you could have waited till
Attraction
after.
number 1.
I'm going to serve you a steak on this plate made of glass.
Attraction number 1, Lester's Possum Park. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, why not Lester's Possum Park? It is such a memorable moment from the show, from the movie. But here's the thing is I want it to be legit, old school, out of date, animatronic possums. I want it to be the play on Country Bears that it was. There will be plenty of photo opportunities. It's going to have a sort of musical performance like the movie. This is a show with a nice lobby sort of leading into this show so that you can get the photo opportunities like seen in the movie, like where Goofy takes the photo hanging upside down and embarrasses Max. So there will be that whole shindig right there in my park. That is attraction number 1, Lester's Possum Park. All right. Attraction number 2 is what I'm very proud of. It's called Driving with Goofy. Now, here's the thing. In the movie, they go on this road trip. The whole movie is they're going on a road trip. Goofy is going to take Max to Lake Destiny. And there's a problem with that, is that in the movie, Max, being the lying piece of work he is, alters the map to go to LA and then lies to his dad, who wanted to just take this trip that he did with his dad as part of a bonding experience. So what we're going to do on my ride is, guess what? We're going to Lake Destiny in this ride. That's right. Similar to Rhino Rally at Busch Gardens, all right? We're going to have a half land, half water ride. And the way I say similar to Rhino Rally is that what we're going to do is Rhino Rally, for those that don't know, is sort of like the Serengeti ride at Animal Kingdom. It's you go on the Jeep, it's driven, and you get to see all the animals and stuff like that. We're going to go ahead and make that into a track-based ride. So you're going to be getting in the car, Goofy's car, and getting to go on a ride. So you'll be able to go through the land. You'll start off in the city, going through the town. You'll go off into the woods. We'll get to maybe see Bigfoot off in the distance. We'll see Pete's Winnebago off in the distance. We'll sort of pass that as we're weaving through the woods. Eventually, we're going to get to that part where it's the sign to California or to Idaho, because Idaho's where Lake Destiny is, and you're going to swerve towards Idaho.
You hear the jab? You hear the jab that he did just there?
It looks like you're going to swerve towards California. You're going to swerve towards Idaho. All right. And then what's going to happen is you're going to come down, and just like in Rhino Rally, you're going to board on the car onto a raft. All right. And it's going to be washed away down the river. Because in Rhino Rally, what happens is the car drives down, it gets locked into this raft, and it floats down the river. So we're going to do that same thing. So this is going to give us the sort of river rapid feel that we had when they were going through the Grand Canyon in the actual movie. But we're going to essentially just transfer that into this ride. And so here's the thing: is once you're done that ride, it's going to end by the river ending at Lake Destiny. And so then it'll pull off to the side and dock. You'll get off and unload, and then it'll go back. So it's starting at Goofy's house. It ends at Lake Destiny. This is driving with Goofy. This is the dream trip that he wanted. This is what you're going to be doing. Attraction 3. Any questions so far?
Is the Lake Destiny that you're going to, is that an actual lake in the park that you're going to have?
It's a smaller, I want to say a smaller pond. It's not going to be a lake. It'll be
not a full blown lake, just a little bit of a lake.
It'll be casual lakes.
It'll be a pond.
Pond Destiny.
This way, because in the park, just like in Universal Studios Orlando, they have a big water feature in the center and stuff that the whole park sort of looped around. This is just, we're going to be sort of using a part of something like that to be our exit point. And so that's sort of Lake Destiny. It's and exiting out into the water. So that is my second attraction. My third attraction is a restaurant, because we need a restaurant. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to present Bobby's. All right, this is Bobby Zimmerowski's restaurant. I did a lot of research. I looked online. There are a lot of fancier stuff that you can make with Cheese Whiz.
No.
And more than enough to make a restaurant. So I'm going to have, this is going to be a restaurant. Let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and start with the menu. So we're going to have Philly cheesesteaks, the Cheese Whiz version. Sorry
the
for
cheese which?
Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz. Cheese Whiz version. Sorry for those Philadelphians that like whatever the other version is. I know there's a war about this. I'm not from Philadelphia. I don't know what the two fights are.
And
they both
care.
Taste good. So we're gonna have
way to alienate all of our Philly audience.
Only half of them, because half of them like the Cheese Whiz version.
Right.
So not all of them. I'm only getting half of them out of
my mistake. I apologize.
So we're gonna have that. We'll have some macaroni and cheese. I actually found there's an Italian pasta dish that's not mac and cheese. It's like a rice-based or rice pasta sort of dish.
There's a lot of Italian dishes that are not mac and cheese.
But I mean, like that uses Cheese Whiz. So we're just going to have a variety of Cheese Whiz-based products. Now, the way that this is going to be designed, the way that it's going to look, this building is going to sort of feel like an AV Tech style room. So we're going to have sort of TVs, older TV screens throughout.
Nothing says eat like AV Tech.
Like we're going to have older TV screens throughout the entire restaurant area. This is a fast dining where you go up to the counter, order, get your food, and take it to a table. But we'll have like the TV wires connect and stuff, sort of reminiscent of the beginning of the movie when he's got the cart with the TV and then he's all tangled in the wires and stuff like that. We're going to have those wires sort of just artistically through along the wall and sort of adding decorations. Now, those TVs are throughout the day are going to play the actual songs, the clips of the different songs from the movie, because there's a lot of good songs that are in the movie. I will give you that. And so you'll get to watch little clips, and that's sort of going to be our our little background, our musical background. However, every half hour, Powerline's going to make an appearance on the TVs. And so we're going to have the whole Powerline effect. And it's going to be a whole sort of little short digital 5-minute show of that flashes on the TV with lights and some little like light fog, light smoke machines to sort of give this sort of power line.
While you're eating?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
It's light.
No, it's hazardous if you're eating around it. Go on, continue.
No, it's not.
Duly noted. Continue.
It's not hazardous. How's it hazardous?
What are you using as your fog fluid?
I'm using carbon dioxide. Dry ice.
Okay. No, he's right. He's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to use a non-food safe product. I'm using the same concept that they use to make those drinks that smoke.
I'm bad too. Yeah. You're good.
Yeah. Okay.
Withdrawn.
Science. Chemistry.
Look,
not hazardous.
He solved the thing that I was worried about.
So this is gonna play. It's gonna be a sort of like Powerline sort of show, reminiscent of the thing at the end, but specifically also the beginning music video part that he does in the assembly. So
we're gonna have a waiter swinging through every once in a while.
This is all just gonna be on the TVs. Okay. It's all just a visual, and like you'll hear the music. There'll be some lights. Pretty lights and stuff, and the TVs will play Powerline. So those are my 3 attractions. Notice who was missing from all 3. Max, you can rot in hell. Jesus. Thank you.
Wow. Man doubles down. I'll tell you that much.
He absolutely does.
You judge my pitches, not the way I feel about the fact that Max was a terrible son.
Wow.
You know, they're both dogs, so they don't have, like, if you think about it, in dog years, they age almost quicker, which means he doesn't have much longer with his dad. And he's going to be that big of a dick. Man. Every moment counts. Every moment counts.
Spencer, for the love of God, pitch your ideas.
Every moment.
Well, I appreciate your uncanny specific review of the Goofy movie, Brad, but I'm going to talk about a Goofy movie. So I'm going to start with my first pitch.
They both suck.
A Goofy movie is actually my first to second, maybe third favorite Disney movie, animated movie of all time.
Anywhere between 1 and 10. One of those.
No, it's like a mix between Lion King, Hercules, and a Goofy movie, depending on the day.
Yes, those are all movies.
Okay. So anyways, maybe Fantasia throw in there. Fantasia is also great. Anyway, enough about
Fantasia or Fantasia 2000.
No, Fantasia the first, 1940.
Hey, Spencer, no wonder your ideas are typically terrible for rides if Goofy movie is in your top 3.
Well, maybe these will be good.
Brad, you are done. Let him start, please. Thank you.
Don't get sassy with me.
I love the show.
So on to my Goofy movie pitches. We're going to start with a pretty obvious one, I guess, because when I think of a Goofy movie, I think of Powerline and cheese. So I'm not combining those ideas. I don't know why I said it that way. The first one
I did.
The first one I have
Electric Cheese Shop.
is Powerline Live Extreme. which is not really that extreme. It's just Powerline Live. So it's an indoor amphitheater show that involves guests coming for a Powerline concert. But just like in the movie, things go a bit awry thanks to Goofy and Max. They twist cables, knock over lights, etc., etc., etc. You know, they come in the cases and all that. So it's a stunt show meets a concert, and it starts with Powerline prepping for the concert, Goofy and Max sneaking in. All seen from behind the scenes is the POV for the audience, a la Noises Off. And by the end, Goofy and Max have joined Powerline on stage as guests enjoy the concert with the classics eye to eye, as in the letter I, and stand out from the POV of the actual audience. So it's a Powerline show.
You said POV, they're backstage. So Goofy and everybody will join Powerline out on stage, but everybody else is backstage.
No, they're still backstage.
No, did you listen to my pitch though? I said it starts with the POV from backstage, and then it switches to the POV from the audience.
It's not a movie, bud.
How's it switching to the POV from the
rotating set?
You having a rotating set?
Yeah, you could just flip it.
Okay.
It's a rotating set. They do it in Noises Off all the time. That's a play.
Yep. That needs to perform that trick only a few times a week.
Do you know they take breaks when they're going to flip the set in Noises Off, right?
Yeah.
To reset it.
There's a concert happening, so they can flip the set while Powerline's singing a song.
All right, you guys just wait. Just go ahead and sit here for a moment. We gotta.
It's because I mean, also you can also just put a backdrop in there. It's not that hard.
Okay.
That's my first pitch. Powerline Live. It's a Powerline concert.
A backdrop's just going to suddenly flip your POV.
Well, you can just have a backdrop of backstage, and then you flip backdrop of the stage.
Gentlemen, please. Let's hear a second bad idea.
So Powerline concert. What more can you ask for in a Goofy movie? That's literally what the movie ends with, is a Powerline concert. So thank you very much. So they're just going to get stranger. I saw it on
YouTube.
They're going to get stranger as they go. My second ride is the Leaning Tower of Cheesa, the ride. I'm going to read it. It's taking all of Bobby Zimmerowski's moments with cheese and putting it into one ride. In this dark ride roller coaster hybrid, guests hop aboard their very own cheese gondola coaster cars as they travel through Bobby Zimmerowski's obsession with Cheese Whiz. The ride starts as you hear cheddar, cheddar whizzy, and you enter a la Magic School Bus into Bobby's cheese-laden mouth, taking a journey through his body full of Cheese Whiz. Cheese stalagmites surround the car on either side, cheddar stalactites hang from the ceiling. The lighting makes it look like you are flowing through a cheese, yellow-orange river.
Oh, Stop. You go into his mouth?
Yeah, it's like, so when he has like the whiz, he says like cheese whiz, he says cheddar, and it's got like this thing that looks like braces with his mouth. And so you go, it's like it opens up and you go in.
Yeah, because everyone remembers the most terrifying part of Snow White being Monstro. You know what?
Monstro from Pinocchio, you mean?
Let's hear him out. Hold on, go on.
Whenever he coughs or talks with his mouth full, as you hear throughout the first part of the ride, water vapor effects appear, making it feel like you are getting hit with his cheese spew. Eventually, you hear Principal Mazur say, "Robert Zimmerowski," and see AR effects of the scene in the movie where Bobby is creating his masterpiece, the Leaning Tower of Cheesa. Suddenly, the vehicle stops.
How are you doing AR?
Because it's a dark ride, so when you go into the next room, it's AR screens.
You mean projection mapping or projected?
It's just projection screens then.
Yeah, so it's screens. Yeah, sure. Screens.
So not AR.
It's screens.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
moving
screens.
on.
Anyway, so in the movie where Robbie Straight his masterpiece, suddenly the vehicle stops. You hear, Max, look, it's the Leaning Tower of Cheesa. Out from flashing lights and smoke come Bobby's hand smeared with a cheese splatter, which becomes the track. So it attaches, in the back. And the hand brings you up level with the mouth. Then you hear slurpage, which is water, not cheese. I get it, but I'm using it. And guests shoot through a tunnel, a la Hulk or the Incredicoaster, down a huge drop and through a couple of banks and turns, all on cheddar-colored track. And then end when you hear Zimmerowski say, "Max, here, guard this with your life, dude." And a big animatronic arm comes down with a bottle of Cheese Whiz, which is obviously fake, that sprays mist at the guests as they enter. They finally see with Bobby at the Powerline concert, huge screen of the Powerline concert, as visual effects of cheese spraying all over are seen and heard all of the movie. And it finally ends with the Cheese Whiz rolling into place, the can doors opening, returning guests to the loading dock.
Oliver, did you follow? Alex, did you follow?
I followed as much as I could. That was a wild ride in and of itself.
I think it's very creative, personally.
I'm not sure if I'm angry.
I don't want to hear you say. I'm disgusted.
So let me get this straight.
It's a dark ride roller coaster hybrid, just in a world of cheese.
You keep saying
You know what? I have no questions. I have no way to fix this. I have no way to clarify.
It doesn't need fixing. It's a perfect ride.
It just needs burned to the ground. You're right.
Madman.
It's a perfect ride. It doesn't need fixing.
You're
it down.
shitting out your audience. You're inferring that the cartoon's character, his insides are stalactites made of cheese. That's not even including the fact that your other attraction is also the concert.
I didn't say it was technically. Oh, I did say it was his body. Anyway,
you did. You said it was his body. And it would
you're
be
going in the body of
if it was just a thing where you're like, oh yeah, it's a fun house where you go through the mouth. But
well,
no,
it is a fun house of the body.
No, it is not, sir. This is not the Rick and Morty episode, which also ends poorly if you keep.
Magic School Bus are going to a human body. What's the problem with that?
Educational, and they're actually talking about body parts.
And a Goofy movie's not educational.
And mind you, you're in a gondola.
It's a gondola coaster. A gondola coaster. So it's shaped like a Cheeto puff. It's shaped like a Cheeto puff.
It's not a gondola. Then it's a Cheeto puff.
Yeah, but you can shape it to look like a
canoe.
Yeah, like a Cheeto puff gondola.
Like a canoe or a gondola?
I don't think it matters what the vehicle looks like. I think it just matters about the actual attraction.
What's your third pitch? Just say your third pitch.
Oh, just you wait.
Because if this is the aglet of Mountain, let's. I
know what an aglet is.
I know. It's the iceberg, top of an iceberg.
It's that piece at the end of
your... It's a piece of plastic on your string. Yeah.
It's also the top of an iceberg.
Okay.
It's a peak. You mean the tip of the iceberg?
Yeah, the aglet.
Yeah, go on. Let's go. Let's get to your
my third attraction, and I'm going to try to explain it because I can visually see it in my head.
Oh, sure.
Watch your language, bro.
I passed that at this point. Go on.
It was the first time. This is called After Today the Ride. In airports that are big, you go on the thing that moves you.
A people mover?
Yeah,
the moving walkway?
Yeah, the moving walkway. A moving walkway. So
wait, hold on. A people mover or a moving walkway?
He's talking about a moving walkway.
I'm talking about a moving walkway.
Okay, continue.
So this is like if Twister Ride It Out and a moving walkway combined. After Today is one of my favorite songs in a Goofy movie. So this is taking the journey of Max as he sings After Today, but it's a mix of screens of you watching, a Goofy movie during the song, you going on a moving walkway, when Twister Ride It Out, the floor creaks. It's kind of like that, but it's actually slowly moving. And there's actors that are coming through, dancing around, cheerleading, doing the whole number. So you're a moving walkway, and the actors are coming around doing all of this.
You want it to be actors, not animatronics.
Correct. It's an immersive show ride. I don't really know how to explain it, but I had this idea 5 minutes ago, so I'm going with it.
We were recording 5 minutes ago. You were mid-pitch 5 minutes ago.
There you have it. It's a ride where you're forcing actors to perform the same song.
So it's
along a moving walkway.
So people hop in. It's a slow moving walkway. Where you walk on things like escalators, but they're flat.
Moving walkway.
Yeah, moving walkways. So, but people, you hold on to the side. Oh, in Space Mountain when you leave and there's the moving walkway. It's like that, but it's a ride. So you're doing that.
Because that's screens. A moving walkway, not a ride.
But I said, but it's a ride. My thing is a ride.
He's making it. It's a show, is what he's making it.
So you're on the moving walkway. It's slow moving, but it's an immersive experience because you got the screens, you got the actors. So it's after today, I'm snoozing. I'm gonna sit on my butt, but all this stuff. So it's I listen to that when I jump rope when I work out. But it's that whole song, but it explores not Goofy's town, Max and Goofy's town as you're going through, and then it ends with the song as you're going through this moving walkway with the actors and the projections.
So let me just get this straight. Now, I'm going to say the whole thing, and then you can interject. Goofy movie is in your top 3, probably, movies of all time. You'd love it. This is
not all time animated of my Disney animated movies.
Disney animated.
Very
movies that feature Goofy. This is one of his favorites.
Probably my favorite movie.
This would be his favorite that features Goofy if it falls into that category. This is such a great movie that you got onto me for hating it, and these were your 3 ideas.
So
I think these 3 ideas prove my point that this movie sucks.
So I went last, right? Do you want to know how many backup pitches I had to throw out during this process because of the obvious choices that everyone else went with? I had a Lester's Possum Park. I had a High Dad Soup.
All three of my choices.
Alex, I
had a perfect cast. I had a perfect cast.
Do you have any questions right now for Spencer? Aside from what were you thinking?
I love this movie though. It's a great movie.
I mean,
I'm obsessed with this movie.
I mean, I had hoped that there would be something referenced to After Today, but that was not the way I was thinking it would go.
You're full Frankenstein.
I did reference After Today, so let's keep that in mind.
I mean, I also referenced that my little restaurant is going to be playing just the music videos portion, like that.
But is it a music video? Is it a music video?
It's
would you have known the name of that song?
And them singing.
Would you have known the name of that song?
I think you've heard enough. Do you think that you have enough information to make your final decisions? We can give you a run through one more time of the names of our rides.
I've got a whole page here.
Jeez, you put more thought into this than we did.
Put more thought into it than Spencer, at least.
Are you kidding me? I went back and redid these pitches so many times. And also, I just want to point out, there's nothing like After Today on the theme park market. So let's just talk about how creative that idea is. Thank you very much.
No, Spencer.
There's a reason, because it's in airports and places to move people.
But why not make it an attraction?
They're known as hallways because it's not one.
It's designed. It's got projections and stuff.
No, you said it's...
No, you said it's live acted.
Live actors.
I said there are screens. Around. I said you're watching on the screens and the actors commingle. It's an immersive experience, I said.
Alex, we're going to give you a run through of our rides one more time as a list.
Okay.
So you can make your final decisions. So I pitched first with Powerline the Ride, Pete's, and the Goof Flume.
Okay.
I pitched second, completely max free. Lester's Possum Park.
I'm surprised you don't have Max in that.
Driving with Goofy and Bubbies.
And Spencer had.
I had the only show that we had, Powerline Live Extreme.
Say the name of them.
I just said it, Powerline Live Extreme. I had the only cheese-filled ride, the Leaning Tower of Cheese of the ride, and I had the only ride that of its own exists, After Today, the ride.
Your ride was not cheese-filled, it was water-filled.
I never once said there was water in that ride.
All right, Alex, you go ahead.
I did. I said there's mist. I said there's mist.
Gentlemen, we get to move on from here. It's now time for Alex to award some points. So, Alex, we're going to start with creative with bronze.
All right, bronze for creative. I gotta give it to Driving with Goofy. I gotta give it to that. That one, I always liked that song. It was a nice. I love road trips, so I will give it to Driving with Goofy for bronze on creative.
Awesome.
I just have a question, Brad. What is the name of that song in Driving with Goofy? What is the name of it?
I don't know. It's the one he
on
sings.
The open road.
Fair enough. Fair enough point. It is on the
Does it matter? I'm done with my pitches. You should have asked that question.
Moving on to silver for creative.
I gotta give it to Pete. I love Pete. Sounds like an awesome bowling alley experience. Gotta give it to Pete.
Awesome. And finally, for gold.
Gold.
Now I know what you're thinking. It's the cheese ride, and you don't have to say it.
So vomit-inducing.
The illustrious gold for creative. I gotta give it to Powerline. The dance party at the end sounds so much fun. Yeah, I would just relish that experience. So, gotta give it there.
You gonna win some practicality points here?
So creative that Despicable Me did it already.
Yeah.
We're
and
not
that's
talking
why,
about Despicable Me here, Spencer.
No, we're talking about the Goofy movie.
No, we're talking about a Goofy movie. Thank you very much.
But we're going to move on to Practical.
The only one
now,
who knows
Practical,
the title, and I don't even get any points.
This is going to be for bronze for Practical.
Let's see. Oh, goodness. So much notes here. Bronze for Practical. Give it to the Goof Flume.
Yes. I'll take Goof Flume for the win.
Give it to Goof Flume, because water rides are fun. They can also be quite the hassle in terms of their execution.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we got bronze for Practicality. Now we're moving on to silver. Silver for Practicality, what do you got?
Silver for Practicality. Let me just double check my handy notes here.
You can skip over mine because I know I'm not getting practical.
You don't know that.
Well,
Don't put
okay.
words.
I do.
I do too.
I will actually give the silver for Practical to Driving with Goofy.
There you go. Driving with Goofy. It's a clear winner, which brings us to gold. This is gold for Practicality. Now, if you say Walkway, you will not be invited back. And I need you to know this.
I'll invite you back.
I'm joking. You're more than welcome to come back, but also make a smart choice here, please.
Or make a choice. It can be any choice.
It will be a choice. That's for sure.
A choice.
Make the choice.
So this is going to be for gold for Practical.
Gold for Practical. I will give that to Lester's Possum Park.
Yeah!
It's practical because he just took that part of the movie and shoved it into a live show.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's an incredibly easy thing to theme out.
I also had that one as an option, and then I had to go with After Today because Lester's was taken.
I mean, it sounds like the perfect nightmare fuel of childhood for a theme park.
It really does, doesn't it?
Translated perfectly.
All right, so this brings us to the final category, and that is guest's favorite. Now, these are the things that tickled your funny bone, the things that made you happy, the things that you
would want to do.
That you would want to do.
Or that you wouldn't want to do, but you just thought were full of cheese-filled fun.
Because that's how the word favorite works. So let's go ahead and go for third place. This is the bronze.
Bronze for guest favorite has to go to Pete's.
Yes.
I love, again,
It's a fun idea.
Can't say enough about Pete's.
Yeah.
Love Pete's. I mean, I would even pay Pete to go to Pete's. So, I mean, that RV was sick. So,
right?
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to silver. This is silver for guest favorite.
That will go to Goof Flume.
Goof Flume takes it. Yes.
One of my favorite scenes of the movie is father and son bonding while they are in perilous danger. So yes,
that's what makes the movie so special.
I adore that song too.
And that brings us to the final category, the gold for guest favorite.
Gold for guest favorite. Powerline.
There it is. The man knows what he's wearing.
The winner of
I'll take
guest
it.
favorite. I can't not.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, I can't not.
Sweep. Yes. I will take it. All right,
Spencer.
Alex,
Spencer, I got more points than you, and I don't like Goof movie.
I still love a Goofy movie, but I also am disappointed that I also did basically the Powerline concert, and that didn't get picked. If Powerline is a big thing, I don't even remember what the Powerline ride was.
That's okay because I do, and I got the points for it. So that brings us to a close of our episode. Thank you so much, Alex, for joining us this week and really shining light on both a really great movie and Brad's distrust and dislike for great, wholesome entertainment. So on behalf of myself, Spencer, and Brad, Alex, thank you so much for joining us, and everyone else, have a great night.
Did you enjoy the episode you just watched? Feel free to like, subscribe, and share. And if you have an interpretation of an idea based on the theme of the week, feel free to tag us on social media with hashtag Theoretical Thrills, and we may feature your ride and attraction on the show.
Theoretical Thrills, the theory of the thrill.